Hey, I just wanted to make this video about changing a Bendix on a Polaris 500 EFI. Mine's a 2007 model, and my nephew Wesley and I took it mudding about a year ago and got water down in the pull cord cover, which in turn gets rust and gums up your flywheel, your Bendix, and your starter teeth. My starter would spin, but the Bendix would never engage the flywheel, and it just simply wouldn't start. After looking on the internet, I didn't find very many resources, so I decided to make this video in hopes that it helps somebody else out. Thanks. Okay, I started out removing the footwell. There is 4 plastic rivets that go into your fender. I had to cut mine out. Several people on the internet will say that you can pull them out. I'm sure that's probably the case on some of them, but on mine they all had to be cut from the backside. Once you get those 4 out, there's 4 Torx head bolts that bolted down to your footrest. And once you pull those bolts out, you just lift the footwell out of the way. Once you get the footwell off, you have access to the pull rope cover right here. There's 9 bolts, I think they're 8mm, that secure the pull rope cover to the engine. Once you remove those bolts, there is a very thin gasket material that keeps it sealed to the engine. So you have to pull and pry a little on it. Mine finally let loose, and it was pretty easy to remove. Okay, now you're looking at the inside of the pull rope cover, and if you made it this far with yours, you're probably in the same boat that I was. All of this was gummed up with rust and dirt and debris. I took the screw out of the center of it, take this cap off. I took the pull cord out and washed it. I actually put the pull cord in my washing machine and dryer to make sure that it was dry before it went back in there. Don't tell my wife about that. I took a wire brush and brushed out all the rust that was stuck on the inside. I cleaned up the plastic pull cord reel and then reassembled it. The only trick is the spring that adds tension. It's a little tedious getting it wound back in there. It goes right back inside of the housing, and then the reel goes on top of it, and then the cap. It takes a little patience to get it wound back up. Once you get it, you just set the tension straight to where the cover, where the reel will pull the pull cord handle all the way back up and seat it. As you can see, I've already cleaned mine and adjusted the tension on it so that when I release it, it pulls it up tight. Now here's where all of my problems started. I left it loose when I was riding in the mud and water. Water gets down in this hole and starts all of your problem. You can drain it if it happens, but one of the best preventative pieces is to make sure that this is pushed solidly down on the dust cover, and your handle actually seals water from getting in there. And of course I will from this point forward, but was not aware of that at the time, and it caused me some problems. Once you get the pull rope cover off, you can see the flywheel and the Bendix fits in right behind it. And I don't know if you can see very well in the video, but here's the starter teeth that comes in from the other side of the engine. All of this was rusted and had buildup and grime in it, basically because we left the pull rope handle not seated tightly enough down on the hole, and it allowed water to get all in here and just muck this up. There is a drain plug on the bottom. Had I known that there was water in here causing problems, I could have drained it out, but since we didn't, all of this was a mess. I took a wire wheel and cleaned this off the best I could. I took a little Dremel tool with a small wire wheel and got up inside of it and cleaned to the best of my ability. When I took the Bendix off, it would not function at all. The springs in it were so gummed up that it would not spring in and out, and you can see where that's the majority of my problems were with my starting. I'll show you how mine came out. I know that some of them may require the flywheel to be pulled, but you can align the teeth and just pull it. It's not bolted in there, it just sits right in behind the flywheel, and as long as the teeth are meshed, you can pull it, get it sideways, and then just remove it. Here's the old Bendix, and as you can see, it's in pretty bad shape. It has a lot of rust. The spring doesn't want to pop in and out, and it barely will rotate, and it does not want to pull apart. You can see that the new one rotates, pulls apart, goes back in, and the spring is very responsive. I also of note, mentioned in the repair manual, and several other people online talked about this washer. Just said make sure that when you reseat it, that you put this washer back on there. I also lubricated the post end of it that goes into the engine with a little bit of grease before I put it back in. Once I took it out, I ordered one from DB Electronics. Came in about 3 or 4 days. I think it was around $40. It was a lot cheaper than what I was quoted at the dealership. It came in about 3 or 4 days. I had everything cleaned up and ready for it to go back in. And when you put it back in, it's the same thing. You just slide it in behind the flywheel. Make sure the teeth mesh up with the starter. And wiggle it into place. Once you have that in place, you just seal the rope, the pull rope cover with a little bit of RTV just to make a good seal, and put it back on the four-wheeler and you're ready to go. Okay, that's it. I hope this was a helpful video. Help somebody change the Bendix on their Polaris Sportsman. Hopefully save you some money. I think tooth to tail, it'd probably be a $300 job if you took it to a dealer. So anyway, good luck to you, and hope it works out. Thanks.